Hi everyone, this is Def from Colasso for the discussion of the Tua Tagovailoa concussion injury. From the initial injury to now, what went wrong? Okay, everything was wrong. First, the athlete should not return to play. There was an obvious sign of a concussion. And one of the things now that the NFL Players Association and the NFL have changed, they have included the ataxia definition to the concussion signs on the NFL concussion diagnosis and management protocol. So I think that's an asset that would have the option to, or that should eliminate the option of the physician to diagnose uh, a concussion because there was no ataxia. So that was a gap in this situation because ataxia was not part of the definitions or the signs that we see in as a official definition of the concussion. They let the player to return because ataxia was not part of the diagnosis on the protocol. I think it was not a good idea. No matter that is not part of the definition on the protocol, I we should protect the player. That was an obvious sign of a concussion. So I think the medical physician took a bad decision about letting the player return to the game. Um, if there's a back injury, as they stated, that was the reason of why he was stumbling and having the ataxia. That was a real stumbles. That was really hard. So at least you should take out and evaluate that back if that's the real reason. So he was wrong in every way you see, in every aspect you analyze. So uh, that was not really good. Okay. How should the first injury have been handled? Was as I stated before, at least I would take him out of that game. No matter that we have that gap, that the ataxia was not part of the definition, so the medical physician saw that hole to let them play because hey, ataxia is not part of the definition. So uh, at least for me, it was not good. At least he should be taken out of the game and have a further evaluation. And if there's no problem, well, they can return to practice on Monday and see how he's doing. But at least he should not be playing in the second half of the game. That's the way I would do it. I think it was very responsible to do it. The second injury, so far, very bad. If you review the news after the injury, they stated that Tua was 10 minutes in the field, laying down on the field. So if you know that he's in a risk situation, that he's vulnerable, and you have that uh, second impact, and there was obvious concussion, and you have that ataxia, and you have that brainstem signs that everything wasn't good, at least you should activate the emergency action plan and do it as quickly as possible. But laying down in 10 minutes, I think was too much time, and then return and move the player to the near hospital. So if you are taking the risk, at least if something happened, you should activate that more quickly than they done it. So uh, what is the early now and how was his return to play? He's doing fine now. At least they are taking the enough time to doing further analysis. More than one specialist doing examinations, having conclusions as a team, as experts. So I think they are doing the right way. That they're taking the right decisions. And now that he's able to return to game, at least the head coach is not planning on putting him on playing, so he can do some return to sports activities, being with the team. So they are going on track now. Uh, but there's some experts that say that he should not be allowed to return to play on the season. I think if now, as we saw in the video on YouTube, is he had the amount of times and days to return to have that energy recharge and everything looks fine. Well, I think maybe he can play, but they should keep doing what they have done, taking it slow, doing the correct analysis, and seeing when the ball is really uh, uh, correct and he's able to return to play without problems. What two changes in policy? At least they have started. They have added the ataxia definition, or the ataxia on the signs of a concussion. So there's not gonna be any more that gap when you see that ataxia, and because it's not part of the definition, I'm able to return it. So I think that's an asset. That was a really good move. The other thing I would change is adding the return to play of the days off before returning to play. MLB have it, and as we know, baseball have a lower risk of concussions compared to to American football. And it's interesting for me that the MLB have that policy on their concussion management program, and the NFL doesn't have it. So at least the league should be more conscious of that and trying to be more aggressive on that. At least you should be at least 7 days or 10 days, depending on what they believe. But yeah, I think that you should include that on the protocol. The other thing is that it's very interesting, and I have a photo with the highlights, sentences of that. The official decision of what the player can do and the diagnosis process is responsibility of the medical team physician, the official team physician. So no matter do you have UNC on the side, unaffiliated neurotrauma consultant, the official decision of what is going to happen with the player is taken by the medical physician of the team. And that's a problem because there's only one person taking that decision. So if we have this same situation and the UNC have the power to say, hey, he's not going to be returning to the game, well, no matter that the team physician wanted, there's another person that is not giving that option. So the athlete should be out of the game. So I would change that. I would change that. There's not an absolute power of the official medical physician of the team to decide what is going on, because they have that for return to play, but it's after diagnosis of the concussion. But before diagnosis, there's no obligation of a second person to say if the athlete should or should not return to the game. So I would change that. So basically, those two changes I would do. At least the a days out of the game of the game, and giving more power to another professional to have a more advanced decision, more concise decision about return to the play. What would I do on the current side? For me, it was obvious. I was not letting the player return to game. No matter the ataxia was not part of the signs on the protocol. Definitely, I would take him out. It was really clear that was a concussion. I don't see how I can explain that ataxia was related to a back injury after we have saw the mechanism of injury. I think I'm not gonna say what I was thinking, but it was not good. It was not a good decision. So for me, at least he should be took out of the game and have further evaluations and have all those things. Okay? Another thing is I would change. Let me say that they do the SCAT-5 after neurocognitive evaluation. As we know, is a very complete testing or examination. But at least I would include some other testings that have another evaluations of neurocognitive functions not included or not part of the SCAT-5. So at least I should include or the impact or maybe the MOCA, but do something different than the SCAT-5 in that neurocognitive assessment part. So because I think that the SCAT-5 have those gaps of having they have the concentration, they have the immediate memory, but looking for other neurocognitive skills, I think there's the impact is more complete, or maybe the MOCA is more complete of analyzing those neurocognitive skills or functions. So at least I should include our neurocognitive test to the SCAT5 as part of the protocol to the return to play decision and the examination of the concussion. That would be my video. Feel free to make any comments and having a discussion with me. Thanks.